Did you see how much flack F1 and Sky were getting over the weekend for this?
I did, yeah, and I don't really understand why, because this is a brilliant incentive that I think appeals to 90% of F1 Twitter, and that is F1 and Sky to create bespoke Hungarian GP coverage for children. You know,
But there are some technical superpowers who have very new to the sport, but the thing about some of these new people into the sport is they take on information so rapidly, and they are actually on par with Adrian Newey in terms of technical insight on the internet. It's outstanding, but taking the piss a little bit on this. F1 and Sky are going to make content for children for the Hungarian Grand Prix, which is awesome, which is actually awesome. Imagine if, as a young fan of the sport, you're like, oh, now I've got something more accessible for my kids. But how did you start? It's a question for you then, Dan. How did you start watching Formula One? Because not to say that the way children consume content now is the same as the way they do it then, but how did you start watching Formula One?
Well, back in my day when I used to have to walk 6 miles to school.
Shut up.
You know, and watch it on my black and white telly. No, how did I? No, I didn't really seriously follow F1 until I was sort of in my later teens, because I was more of a endurance fan, and I was just like, F1, yeah, whatever. So, I mean, as a kid, I wasn't really. Sometimes it'd be on like the free-to-air channels and in the background, but I didn't really pay a huge amount of attention to it. But no, I think it's a good incentive, and I think give it a couple of weeks, and we're gonna basically replace me and you with my 2 daughters. They can just fucking run the podcast. Me and you can retire. Bollocks, we're done.
Yeah, exactly. But okay. So what's the ins and outs of it? What does it look like? What does the new Formula One coverage for kiddos look like?
Let me get my my best. I didn't copy and paste this from a press release voice on.
But it's cool.
The UK broadcast will feature presenters of the Sky Kids show FYI, Braden and Scarlett and go-karter Zach, who will join 2016 F1 champion Nico Rosberg.
Same machinery Rosberg.
Yeah. Nico, I beat Lewis Hamilton and equal machinery Rosberg, and Danica Patrick to create F1 Juniors.
Okay.
So again, that, you know, I'm very happy for Yuki that he's getting a show just for him.
My God.
I waited until you took a sip of your drink to say that, and
yeah, I almost spat that into my Go XLR and need to get a new microphone. There goes 500 quid down the drain. You're a dickhead.
The series will create a dedicated international feed featuring bespoke graphics and sound effects for the broadcast. Right, I'll tell you what those sound effects are going to be, mate.
Yeah.
It's just going to be, and here's a team radio from Yuki. And that's the end of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Why won't my... Wait, wrong button. Hold on. Is it?
Nothing like some live troubleshooting.
Yuki, can you explain this one?
No, but this bug sucks.
Yeah. That's it.
But hey, look, there's more. Listen, if you thought that sounded exciting, listen, there's more.
Okay.
An additional quirk is the placing of 3D augmented graphics, which are planned to feature on specific camera angles in much the same way that some advertisements are positioned trackside through the use of CGI.
That's going to be really interesting. Maybe for for the Hungarian Grand Prix watch along, I'll watch the kids feed and see what it's like. Because I think that could be awesome. But what's going to happen is we're going to get some of these very young fans, and they're going to get hooked on this, and they're gonna want the data, Dan. They're gonna want the data.
They're gonna want to come here and be like, hey, you fucking little kids, come here and listen to this shitty fucking podcast, you little wankers.
Oh my God, I hope not. Yeah, that's not very responsible parenting to let kids listen to our podcast.